the period of loneliness or being alone is a must in order for you to become successful. And that is because when you're around with other people, you you try to adapt to their behavior. You know you may try to implement their habits. You may try to implement their words, their behavior. But when you're alone, there's nobody to copy. There's only you, and you need to figure out for yourself who you truly are and who you truly are going to become. So I feel like the period of when you're alone is actually a very good period to have in your life, because some people, they say, I don't have friends, I don't have this, I don't have that. Maybe the fate just put you in the situation to be alone and to figure out what do you true who what or who you truly are and what do you want to do. Because when I just realized, when I was being alone with no friends, with no family, with no, just nobody, it was only me, it was only me. I realized, why do I do this? Why do I do that if I don't even like it? I was just doing it because my friends were doing it. I was copying their behavior, It's like, show me your friends and I'ma tell you who you are. That's the same. It's the same thing. And I just realized that I don't like doing stuff that they like doing. I started to, work on myself. What do I really like? What do I really love to do? And I was figuring out my own traits, my own character. What is wrong with my character? And I really enjoy this time in when I was alone, because it really taught me a lot about myself, who I truly am. And I feel like everybody who's willing to achieve some success needs this time of being completely alone when there's nobody. And you do, first of all, you got a lot of time. You don't waste your time on stuff that doesn't matter. That's already a great benefit. Maybe you can go once in a while with your friends, but you don't waste your time doing stuff that you won't benefit you in the future. For example, just going out in the cities, that won't benefit you any any much. First of all, yeah, as I said, you get a lot of time. Second, you're really starting to embrace boredom and figure out what is truly wrong to do, what's right to do, what do you like to do. Because when there is nobody, you're going to eventually, you can't just sit and stare at the ceiling the whole day. You're going to figure out what is pleasant for you to do, what do you like to do. And when you're alone, it's actually a self-discovery. You discover yourself, you discover who you are, and you implement new traits into your life. And in this period of when you're alone, you may actually find out something that you really like, that maybe you didn't know that you like playing violin, for example. You're going to go in on violin. Maybe you didn't know that you like, I don't know, volleyball, to play volleyball. Maybe you're going to start playing volleyball. And it's actually a great place to self-discover when you're alone. So first, you get a lot of time. Second, it's self-discovery. And third is, as I said, boredom. You accept boredom. And that's one of the most important most important skills that we can have in our life, to embrace boredom, to do stuff that is boring, because it is going to teach us how long it takes and what it takes. Actually, when you're alone, you're starting to understand people more, how they work, how they function. You observe them from the shadow, as I might say, and you just learn more. And when you feel ready, you may go outside and socialize. But this place when you're alone is a must-have place of self-discovery. You get a lot of time to do stuff that you like, and you become stronger in that. So if you're in that place right now, or you were in that place right now, you may know that it's at the same time it's a boring phase, but at the same time it's actually a very helpful phase to your life. It's going to improve you much better than you were with friends that you some bums that you don't even like. And if life did it for yourself, then you should be happy that you're not around with some friends who just don't care about their future. They don't care about. They just go. They just want to be. I don't know. That you want to do things you don't even like. You don't appreciate. So if life did it by itself to you, this, then you should be really happy, because I am grateful for it and I'm thankful for it. And yeah, so this phase of being alone is actually gonna help you a lot to improve in almost each aspect of our life.